fantastic. I'm looking forward to that, Roland. Are you? Now on Children's BBC, it's time for Newsround, presented today by John Craven. I want you to look very closely today. I'm going to too. What exactly is on the computer?
Cleaning up a river, a brand new garbage guzzler goes into action. Hello again. A new type of rubbish collector began work today on the River Thames in London, and it could soon be seen on rivers all over the world. On the Thames, more than 1,000 tons of rubbish is picked up every year, but a lot more gets left behind. So the new catamaran-style contraption has been designed to trap floating litter. Helen's been finding out how it works.
Its proper name is a static debris collector, but it's known as JAWS, or a garbage guzzler. It collects the masses of rubbish from plastic cups to cars that is thrown into the Thames each day. The guzzler is towed into position ready for London's tourist season, the worst time of year for rubbish. It sits on the outside of a bend in the river where the flow of water is fastest, collecting the debris as it drifts on the tide. Rubbish floats into the open end, jamming up against the special gates. As the tide changes, the guzzler swings into action the other way round. Captain Derek Roberts is the inventor.
Well, the idea came from seeing debris jam between the hulls of vessels moored on the river several years ago. And I thought we could just use this idea to collect debris.
Driftwood 1 is the vessel that collects the rubbish from the guzzler. The gates are wound open and the rubbish scooped in.
Well, you name it, we'll find it floating up and down the river. Most of the stuff will go into our basket there. We'll go over to the driftwood barge and empty it all out, all ready for another day.
As you can see, the garbage guzzler has already been extremely busy today. It's collected tons of rubbish, things like metal containers, plastic containers and driftwood. This is one of the barges that now takes it downriver to a pit where it's disposed of on the shore. The idea may be simple, but it has created interest throughout the world, especially as the Thames can now boast it's cleaner than it's ever been.
A new primary school in Birmingham was opened by an important visitor today, the South African church leader, Archbishop Desmond Tutu. He's an outspoken critic of apartheid, South Africa's laws that separate black people from the ruling whites. Gary Hudson reports from Birmingham.
The Archbishop was keen to enjoy his time with the school children despite the crush of photographers. He was welcomed in 6 different languages.
Assalamu alaikum, Khushamdi. Aapse milkar bahut khushi hui. Hello.
The new school is named after Nelson Mandela. He's the black South African leader who's been kept in jail by the white government for 25 years.
You're not even allowed in South Africa to show his picture. And yet, he's become a hero to children who were not born when he went to jail.
The Birmingham children presented the Archbishop with gifts to take back to the children of South Africa.
A new law that will give better protection to animals got the go-ahead today in the House of Commons. It'll mean that more people get punished for cruelty, and fines will be much stiffer, as much as 20 times more. Anyone who's charged with cruelty could be banned from ever keeping another animal again. But the law now has to get passed in the House of Lords before it's official. In Scotland, a woman collecting seashells on a walk along the beach has found a bundle of papers giving secret information about American nuclear submarines. The papers, in a black plastic bag, were a few miles from where the subs are based. The Americans have kept 10 submarines armed with nuclear missiles in Holy Loch for many years in the strictest secrecy. So how the bag of documents got out of the base is a mystery, but where they ended up is not. They were brought to the office of the Scotsman newspaper. The paper says they contain important details, but the American Navy says they don't matter and offered to pay for the postage if the newspaper will return the bundle. There's a big row brewing amongst experts on the famous writer William Shakespeare about a new poem which could have been written by him. Professor Peter Levi of Oxford University found the manuscript in a library in America, and he says he's sure it is the work of Shakespeare. But other top scholars aren't convinced. They say the poem could have been